Hey folks, welcome back to Honey Money SG. Now, some of you may be interested in where is the best place to actually park your cash while using as an emergency fund or just keeping it as a war chest while you wait for opportunities to actually go and enter into the investing market. Especially in turbulent times like this, right, where the S&P index has corrected more than 10% and the Nasdaq even falling more than 20% in the bear market territory. So in this video, I will share with you 3 avenues where you can actually park your cash while waiting for market opportunities to arise so that you can then withdraw your cash fast enough so that you can take opportunity at the market dip. The first product is known as Singtel Dashpad. So what Dashpad essentially is an insurance savings account. So it's like a kind of fixed deposit whereby if you put like $10,000 into the Singtel Dashpad, then they will give you 1.5% per annum of interest with capital guaranteed. Now, not only it gives you 1.5% of interest guaranteed, but it also gives you some kind of life insurance protection of 105% of the money you put inside Singtel Dashpad. So consider it like a supplementary insurance plan on top of what you already have. If you have like $10,000 of cash which is left untouched, then I think the first place you want to put in is the Singtel Dashpad, because firstly, it's capital guaranteed. Secondly, I think 1.5% is not too bad in a low interest environment like this. And now is actually the best time to go and sign up and apply for Singtel Dashpad, right? Because if you use my referral and you go and top up some funds, you can get up to $10 in terms of Dash credits credited into your account as long as you deposit more than $5,000. And I'm sure many of you would deposit more than $5,000, right? Because the first $10,000 would get the 1.5% per annum of interest. So just try to maximize it at $10,000. I think that's the sweet spot. Capital guaranteed, I think, is really a good option to look at. Okay folks, coming to the second option, we have the Endowus Income Portfolios. Now, this product is actually really new. It's a totally separate product from the Cash Smart portfolios that Endowus have, right, previously. So now we are talking about Endowus Income Portfolios, really new stuff. And so they cater to 3 different kind of audience, right? Firstly is those younger working adults, secondly is those mature working adults, and thirdly is those retirees who may not be working anymore. So according to these 3 target audience, they have 3 different plans suitable for these 3 groups of people depending on their risk profile, and because at the age bracket they are in, the risk that they may take is actually very much different. So we look at the first income portfolio first, which is called stable income. So this Endowus stable income portfolio is suitable for retirees who may not be working anymore. So they do not have a day job, which means they do not have consistent income coming in every month. So the approach they take is really conservative. It's 100% into the fixed income portfolios. So I'll show you this picture on what these 100% fixed income funds are allocated into. And so the expected return of this stable income portfolio is between 3.5% to 7% per annum, which sounds not bad on paper, right? I think it's even higher than the CPF SA interest of 4%. But I think it comes with the associated risk, of course, with the fixed income portfolio as well. But that's okay. This portfolio is really for retirees. We look at the next portfolio, right, which is the higher income portfolio. This is really suitable towards the mature working adults population. And this group of people probably have like elderly parents to support, and maybe they also need to support their children financially. So they are kind of like the sandwich generation. But regardless, it's still considered quite a conservative portfolio because we are looking at 20% equities and 80% fixed income funds. So we look at a breakdown of these funds right over here and see what is their allocation. So slightly higher risk because you are looking into some of the equity funds that may cause a bit of fluctuation in these stock turbulent times. Nevertheless, the expected return is around 3.5% to 9%, so a bit slightly higher than the stable income portfolio because there is more risk, right? The 20% equities risk, so likely you also get a slightly higher risk premium as well. Now the last Endowus income portfolio is called the future income portfolio. So these are for people who have a really long runway, right? Most likely it's targeted towards the younger working adults. Most probably you are a fresh grad or you are just 5 years out of college and then probably in your first or second job. But this portfolio is still considered quite conservative, you know, because it's only 40% equities and 60% fixed income. And why is it conservative is because most likely you'll hear people around your age telling you to go all in into the stock market and buy the dip and dollar cost average into 100% equities, because you can take the risk and you have a really long runway. In case you suffer from any losses, right, you will be able to make back. But there are just some group of people who are really not comfortable of losing money, and ours is really catering for this group of people. And that's why even with the risk premium at this level of 40% equities and 60% of fixed income, the expected return is around 3.5% to 10%. But of course, I must say that all these expected returns given by endowers, 3.5% to a range of 10%, I think is all really quite aggressive. Because if you remember some of my robo-advisor video done last year with Scythe or endowers, then you'll know that if you invested during like the start of November or December, you probably take a lot of hit on the stock market, right? Because it came crashing or correcting more than 10% off the S&P 500 index, right? You probably have lost quite a bit of money. Likewise for myself, my portfolios really suffer a lot as well. I think no one was spared from this correction as long as you invested last year. So you must be mentally prepared that once you actually invest, you must actually be able to stomach some losses. For the short term, I re-emphasize that for the short term, but in the long term, you can be expected to receive at least 3.5% to 10% per annum of returns if you use these endowers income portfolios. And endowers have been always emphasizing and looking at the long term, right? The difference between cash smart and endowers income is that cash smart, I think you can use SRS, but for endowers income, it's really 100% cash. You cannot use like your SRS to put some money into there. But regardless whether you want to take on endowers income or endowers cash smart, right, I also have a referral for endowers in my link below, so you all can go and take a look at that pinned comment. Okay, the last option is finally Scythe Cash Plus. Now, if you have watched my Scythe videos previously, right, you'll know that I'm not really supportive of the Cash Plus portfolio, right? Because the returns are really quite mediocre, but in turn, you have to take on a slightly higher risk of losing capital as well. In fact, in one of my Scythe videos, I detailed how I actually sold out my Cash Plus portfolio because it wasn't working for me. But you know what has changed since then? Scythe actually changed their approach, right? They took out a more risky fund and hence reduced their projected return from 1.5% to 1.2%. And the return is actually accrued daily, right? So some of you may see it as a bad thing. From 1.5% to 1.2% is an absolute lower return, right? But in actual fact, I actually welcome this change because with the lower percentage return, they actually shifted their portfolios to reduce the risk for their consumers, which I think is better for everyone in general. When we are talking about cash portfolios, we are talking about capital preservation while maintaining a little bit of appreciation, if any, right? And I think the previous Scythe Cash Plus portfolio was deemed a little bit too risky for the people to put their cash in, and maybe that caused a lot of unhappiness among the customers as well. I don't know, it's really anyone's guess, but let's take a look at some of the changes, right? So if you have read from my community post, I actually talk about this email from Scythe whereby they notified their users that the Cash Plus portfolio will be reduced from 1.5% projected return to 1.2%, and the main reason is because they have changed their fund, right? They have took out the Lion Global short duration fund to actually reduce risk, and this is effective since January 2022. Now their portfolio for Cash Plus will be re-optimized to these two funds, mainly Lion Global SGD Money Market Fund 30% and Lion Global SGD Enhanced Liquidity Fund of 70%. So they took out the short duration fund, which is probably has a lot of China exposure. So this will ultimately reduce some of the risk and provide more confidence for people who are interested in this Scythe Cash Plus portfolio. Therefore, if you are interested in signing up for Scythe Cash Plus, you can also use my promo code called Honey Money, right? Just type it out in the promo code and then you can get some offers. Now, with all these three products mentioned, my take on the market is that with interest rates rising, we are going to see more and more products advocating their high interest savings accounts or their high yield savings account, right? Because we were previously in a zero interest rate environment, and now that the US Fed has announced of the rate hikes, then most probably we will see a slightly more interest coming out of this cash savings or insurance savings products. So we'll definitely look forward to more of these products within this year or actually next year. And if you have felt that all these cash management strategies are not for you because you are a slightly higher risk taker where you can invest ETF, then do take a look at this video where I detail out how to invest in the S&P 500 index using your cash, your SRS, and your CPF. With that, thank you for watching. My name is Christopher. This is Honey Money SG, steering young adults to financial independence.